Hello, English learners. Today, we're going to explore the incredible journey of Jeff Bezos, one of the world's most successful entrepreneurs. His story will inspire you and teach you valuable English vocabulary along the way. Let's discover how a curious boy became the founder of Amazon and changed the way we shop forever. Jeffrey Preston Jorgensen was born on January 12, 1964, in Albuquerque, New Mexico. His mother, Jacqueline, was only 17 years old when she had him, and his father was just 19. When Jeff was very young, his parents divorced. His mother later married Miguel Bezos, a Cuban immigrant who adopted Jeff and gave him his last name. Miguel taught Jeff the value of hard work and determination. This early lesson would shape Jeff's approach to life and business for years to come. As a child, Jeff was incredibly curious about how things worked. He would often take apart his toys and alarm clocks just to see what was inside them. His maternal grandfather, Preston, owned a ranch in South Texas where Jeff spent many summers. There, he learned practical skills like fixing windmills and repairing farm equipment. Those summers at my grandfather's ranch were magical. Jeff once recalled, "I learned that with the right tools and enough persistence, almost any problem could be solved." Jeff's teachers quickly noticed his exceptional intelligence. In elementary school, he finished his work much faster than other students. His fourth-grade teacher arranged for him to join a special program for gifted children. Jeff thrived in this environment where his curiosity was encouraged. During high school, Jeff worked at McDonald's as a short-order cook. This job taught him valuable lessons about efficiency and customer service that he would later apply at Amazon. "My McDonald's experience taught me how small things matter when serving customers," Jeff shared in a later interview. "Every second counts when someone is waiting for their food." Jeff graduated as valedictorian of his high school class in 1982. In his graduation speech, he talked about his dream of people living in space someday. His classmates thought this idea was strange. Little did they know that Jeff would one day build a company to make space travel more accessible. Jeff attended Princeton University, one of America's most prestigious schools. He initially planned to study physics, but found the advanced mathematics extremely challenging. "I quickly realized I wasn't going to be the best physicist in the world," Jeff admitted with his characteristic laugh. "So I switched to something I was better at." He changed his major to electrical engineering and computer science. This decision would prove crucial for his future career in technology. At Princeton, Jeff joined the Students for the Exploration and Development of Space Club. His passion for space exploration was already evident during his college years. Jeff graduated from Princeton in 1986 with highest honors. His technical knowledge and problem-solving abilities made him highly sought after by employers. After graduation, Jeff received job offers from several technology companies. However, he decided to join a financial technology startup called Fidel instead. At Fidel, Jeff helped build a network for international trade. His colleagues remember him as intensely focused and always full of innovative ideas. "Even back then, Jeff thought differently than everyone else," said a former Fidel coworker. "He was always looking for better, more efficient ways to do things." After working at Fidel, Jeff moved to Bankers Trust, where he quickly rose through the ranks. His technical background combined with financial knowledge made him valuable to the company. In 1990, Jeff joined D.E. Shaw & Co., a prestigious Wall Street investment firm. The company used advanced computer algorithms for trading, which matched Jeff's technical skills perfectly. At D.E. Shaw, Jeff impressed everyone with his analytical mind and work ethic. By age 30, he had become the company's youngest senior vice president with a very comfortable salary. Most people would have been satisfied with this success, but Jeff's mind was always looking for new opportunities. His life was about to take an unexpected turn. In 1994, while researching internet business opportunities for D.E. Shaw, Jeff discovered something that changed his life. The internet was growing at an incredible rate of 2,300% per year. This statistic amazed Jeff. He immediately recognized the massive business potential of this new technology that many others hadn't yet fully appreciated. When I saw that number, I knew this was something extraordinary, Jeff later recalled. I decided I needed to be part of this revolution before it was too late. Jeff made a list of products that could be sold online. After careful analysis, books seemed perfect because there were millions of titles, but no single bookstore could stock them all. Despite having a secure, well-paying job, Jeff decided to take a huge risk. He would leave his position at D.E. Shaw to start an online bookstore. His boss, David Shaw, was surprised by Jeff's decision. He asked me to think about it for 48 hours before making such a big change, Jeff remembered. After careful consideration, Jeff decided to follow his vision. He later explained his thinking. When I'm 80, I want to have minimized the number of regrets I have. I knew that when I was 80, I wouldn't regret trying this. I would regret not trying, and that made the decision very easy, Jeff explained with conviction. In the summer of 1994, Jeff and his then-wife Mackenzie packed their belongings and drove from New York to Seattle to start their new business. During the cross-country drive, Jeff typed his business plan on his laptop while Mackenzie drove. They chose Seattle because it had many tech workers and was near a major book distributor. The early days of Amazon were humble and challenging. Jeff set up the business in the garage of his rented home in Bellevue, Washington. He used a desk made from an old wooden door with 4x4 posts as legs. This makeshift desk became a symbol of the company's frugal beginnings. "I've been using door desks since the early days of Amazon," Jeff once said with pride. "It's a symbol of frugality and a reminder of our humble beginnings." Jeff invested his own money and also received about $300,000 from his parents. They supported his vision despite the risks involved. "My parents' investment wasn't just financial," Jeff later shared. "They believed in me when many others thought my idea was crazy. That meant everything." On July 16, 1995, Amazon.com officially launched. The website was simple by today's standards but revolutionary for its time. Customers could search for books, read reviews, and place orders online. This was a completely new shopping experience for most people in the mid-1990s. Jeff personally packed and shipped the first orders from his garage. He would drive the packages to the post office himself at the end of each workday. "Those early days were exhausting but exciting," recalled one of Amazon's first employees. Jeff worked harder than anyone. He was packing boxes until midnight most days. The company's name, Amazon, was chosen because it started with A and represented the Earth's largest river, suggesting the scale of Jeff's ambition. In the first month, Amazon sold books to people in all 50 U.S. states and 45 different countries. This early success confirmed that there was a global market for online book sales. Amazon grew quickly in its early years, but the company faced many challenges. Jeff had to convince skeptical investors that his business model could work. Many people doubted that customers would buy books without seeing them first. Why would anyone buy a book they can't hold in their hands? Critics asked. Despite the skepticism, Amazon went public on May 15, 1997. The initial stock price was $18 per share, providing the company with much-needed capital for expansion. In his first letter to shareholders, Jeff outlined his philosophy of focusing on long-term growth rather than short-term profits. This approach would become a defining characteristic of Amazon. Jeff decided to expand beyond books. Amazon began selling music CDs, videos, electronics, toys, and many other products. This expansion was risky but aligned with Jeff's vision of Amazon as the everything store. He wanted Amazon to be a place where customers could find anything they wanted to buy. The dot-com bubble of the late 1990s saw many internet companies reach extremely high valuations. When the bubble burst around 2000-2001, many of these companies failed. Amazon's stock price fell from over $100 to less than $10 per share. Critics predicted that Amazon would also fail and called it Amazon.bomb. One Amazon employee remembers this difficult time. Everyone was saying we would fail, but Jeff remained calm and focused. He never lost confidence in his vision. Jeff kept telling us to concentrate on what we could control, serving customers better than anyone else, the employee continued. That focus got us through the darkest days. Instead of panicking, Jeff continued investing in infrastructure, technology, and customer service. He believed that building for the future was more important than short-term profits. During this challenging period, Jeff introduced Amazon Prime in 2005. For an annual fee, customers received free 2-day shipping on many products. Prime was Jeff's idea, and many of us thought it would bankrupt the company, admitted a former Amazon executive. But Jeff saw what we didn't. It would transform customer loyalty. Amazon Web Services, AWS, was launched in 2006. This cloud computing platform became hugely successful and eventually generated billions in revenue. AWS was a completely different business from retail, but showed Jeff's willingness to explore new opportunities. He wasn't afraid to venture into unfamiliar territory. Throughout these years, Amazon often reported losses as it reinvested profits into growth. Wall Street analysts frequently criticized this approach. Jeff remained patient and persistent. We're willing to be misunderstood for long periods of time, he often told worried investors and employees. His patience during these challenging years would eventually pay off as Amazon continued to grow and diversify. Jeff's long-term vision was proving to be correct. Jeff created a culture at Amazon where employees were encouraged to experiment and think creatively. He famously said, "Failure and invention are inseparable twins." In 2007, Amazon launched the Kindle e-reader, revolutionizing how people read books. This device allowed readers to carry thousands of books in one small device. When we were developing the Kindle, Jeff was involved in every detail, remembered a product designer. He wanted to create a reading experience that was better than physical books. The Kindle showed Jeff's willingness to disrupt Amazon's own book business before someone else did. He wasn't afraid to cannibalize his existing business to build something better. Amazon continued to expand into new areas. The company launched Amazon Fresh for grocery delivery and acquired Whole Foods Market in 2017. Jeff introduced the concept of day one thinking at Amazon. He insisted that the company should always operate with the energy and hunger of a startup, regardless of its size. Day two is stasis, followed by irrelevance, followed by excruciating, painful decline, Jeff warned in a shareholder letter. And that is why it's always day one at Amazon. Amazon's fulfillment centers became increasingly automated. The company invested heavily in robotics to improve efficiency in its warehouses. In 2014, Amazon introduced Echo devices with the Alexa voice assistant. This technology brought voice-controlled computing into millions of homes. A developer who worked on Alexa recalled, "Jeff told us to build the Star Trek computer, something that could understand natural language and answer any question." He wasn't thinking small. He wanted to create something that would seem like magic to customers. The developer added with admiration. Throughout Amazon's growth, Jeff maintained his focus on customer satisfaction. He often said that Amazon's goal was to be Earth's most customer-centric company. Jeff was famous for leaving an empty chair in important meetings. This chair represented the customer and reminded everyone that customer needs should be at the center of all decisions. Under Jeff's leadership, Amazon developed sophisticated algorithms to recommend products to customers based on their previous purchases and browsing history. This personalization helped improve the shopping experience and increased sales. Jeff understood that making shopping easier would keep customers coming back. While building Amazon, Jeff also pursued other interests and investments. In 2000, he founded Blue Origin, a private aerospace company. The company's mission is to make space travel more accessible and eventually enable millions of people to live and work in space. This fulfilled Jeff's childhood dream. Blue Origin's motto is Gradatum Ferociter, Latin for step-by-step ferociously. This phrase captures Jeff's approach to achieving ambitious goals. Space is the next frontier, and we need to preserve Earth by moving heavy industry into space, Jeff explained when discussing his vision for Blue Origin. In July 2021, Jeff fulfilled his lifelong dream by traveling to space aboard Blue Origin's New Shepard rocket. After the flight, he was visibly moved by the experience. "Best day ever," Jeff exclaimed after returning to Earth. "My expectations were high, and they were dramatically exceeded. The zero-G was much more pleasant than I expected." In 2013, Jeff purchased the Washington Post, one of America's most respected newspapers, for $250 million. He brought his digital expertise to help transform the traditional newspaper. Under Jeff's ownership, the Washington Post invested in technology and digital subscriptions. The newspaper regained profitability and increased its online readership significantly. "Jeff didn't try to influence our journalism," said a Washington Post editor. "Instead, he focused on giving us the technology and resources we needed to reach more readers." In recent years, Jeff has focused more on philanthropy. He established the Bezos Day One Fund with $2 billion to help homeless families and create preschools in low-income communities. In 2020, he announced the Bezos Earth Fund, pledging $10 billion to combat climate change. This initiative funds scientists, activists, and organizations working to protect the natural world. After building Amazon for 27 years, Jeff stepped down as CEO in July 2021. He transitioned to the role of executive chairman, allowing him to focus more on his other ventures. Being the CEO of Amazon is a deep responsibility and it's consuming, Jeff explained. As executive chairman, I'll stay engaged in important Amazon initiatives, but also have time for other passions. Jeff Bezos' story teaches us many valuable lessons. First, having big dreams is important. Jeff wasn't afraid to imagine a future that seemed impossible to others. Second, taking calculated risks can lead to great rewards. Jeff left a secure job to start Amazon because he didn't want to regret not trying. Third, persistence through difficulties is crucial. When Amazon faced challenges during the dot-com crash, Jeff stayed focused on his long-term vision. Fourth, innovation requires experimentation. Jeff created a culture at Amazon where trying new ideas was encouraged, even if some of them failed. Fifth, focusing on customers leads to success. Jeff always prioritized customer satisfaction above everything else, even when it meant making difficult business decisions. From a curious child who took apart toys to understand how they worked, to an entrepreneur who built one of the world's largest companies, Jeff's journey is truly remarkable. His story reminds us that with determination, creativity, and hard work, extraordinary achievements are possible. Jeff turned a simple idea into a company that changed how the world shops. As Jeff himself once said, "If you're not stubborn, you'll give up on experiments too soon. And if you're not flexible, you'll pound your head against the wall and you won't see a different solution." What dream will you pursue with determination and creativity? Jeff Bezos shows us that even the biggest achievements start with a single step and the courage to try something new.